Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Hope you're doing good, hope you're doing well as we take a look at the roundup of match day 3 of the African Cup of Nations qualifiers for the 2023 edition of the tournament. I have to say, we know, and we've known for a long time, so we shouldn't be too surprised that the gap between the big teams and the small teams in Africa is shrinking and continues to keep on shrinking, because gone are the days of genuine real thrashings. I mean, some of the results we're going to talk about just shows that it's a competitive continent and also supports the theory to have 24 teams at the AFCON proper tournament. But some really interesting results, and of course what's even more interesting is that in just a few days time everyone's going to play each other again, which we'll look ahead to close to the time of the kickoff. So it all kicked off on Wednesday on the 22nd of March. Benin hosted Rwanda and Sierra Leone hosted Sao Tome and Principe, and these are both two teams, Benin and Sierra Leone, that really needed to get home wins to stand any chance of qualifying for the tournament, and both failed to do so. Benin 1-1 at home to Rwanda, and this is a new Benin that took the old Nigeria manager Gernot Rohr. They had to win that. Like I said, still relying on Steve Mounier, drawing at home 1-1 against 10-man Rwanda. That's it. Benin are done out here. They're not going to the AFCON. And as for Sierra Leone, I mean, to have any chance of getting past Nigeria and Guinea-Bissau, they had to beat Sao Tome and Principe. I know the game was played in Agadir. They drew 2-2. They nearly lost. Of course, it was Luis Leal that bailed out Sao Tome, but 2-2 at home to Sao Tome. I mean, come on. Really? Really? You don't deserve to go to AFCON if you can't beat them, with respect. I mean, they lost 10-0 in the last game, didn't they? So, really poor from Sierra Leone, especially with Stephen Corker captaining them, ex-England player. You'd hope for better. I suppose that's why he doesn't play for England anymore. So, Sierra Leone are not going to qualify for this Africa Cup of Nations. So that's how Wednesday panned out. And of course Thursday, we know it culminated with Algeria beating Niger 2-1, which we covered on the channel. That's 9 points out of 9 for Algeria. Brilliant goals for us. Well, goals. It was a goal really, wasn't it? One was an own goal, but we did deserve the win in the end. So earlier that day, a shocking result for Madagascar. They lost at home 3-0 to the Central African Republic. 2 goals for Mathuta. Madagascar are not going to be going to this edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, and especially with Ghana leaving it late to beat the new look Angola. Angola will be fuming. Ghana weren't that good. Semenyo, the Bournemouth forward, formerly of Bristol City, 1-0 win for Ghana. Angola need to get something in the return fixture, because now they're level with Central African Republic, with Kondogbia in the middle, who are now going to host Madagascar. So Central African Republic maybe have given themselves a real opportunity of qualifying now for this competition. Gabon beat Sudan by 1-0, a game Gabon had to win. It didn't matter how. Sudan will be disappointed. They'll try and bounce back in the return leg. Zambia came from behind to beat Lesotho 3-1. 2 goals for Banda, 1 for Sakala. Brilliant win for Zambia. Really puts them in the driving seat now in that group. And there's a big result there. South Sudan. And I don't know if they've ever won a qualifier before. The previous fixture, they so close to getting something against Mali. South Sudan have beaten Congo Brazzaville by 2-1 in Brazzaville with a last-minute winner in the 96th minute with 10 men. What a result for South Sudan. History in the making. Sudan lost and South Sudan won. Never thought I'd see the day. And that's a fantastic result. And the happiest people from that are the Gambians, because Gambia now, we're thinking they've been given a huge opportunity to make it to the Africa Cup of Nations. So massive wins there for South Sudan away from home for the Central African Republic. And then today, a bumper edition of AFCON qualification action. 14 matches, really is quite remarkable. It all started in the morning. DR Congo had to beat Mauritania. They did beat Mauritania, and I'm backing them for this remontada for them to qualify. Kakuta back on boot, and an absolute belter from the West Ham loanee Arthur Masuaku. Brilliant goal from Masuaku. So DRC got to win the return fixture. 6 points out of 6 if they can do that. They'll be right back in it. Tanzania went to Uganda in Algeria's group, but they won. So they're now in a good position to come second. 4 points. I know the game was actually in Egypt, but a good win for Tanzania. And of course, they're managed by Adel Amrouche with his Algerian coaching staff as well. So Tanzania trying to get second in Algeria's group. Cape Verde will be very disappointed to have drawn at home to Eswatini. Can Eswatini really now get something in that second game? Because if they can beat Cape Verde, and they've only lost 1 game out of 3 in the return game, all of a sudden, what an opportunity for Eswatini. But that also sort of opens it up for Togo a little bit. They expectedly lost to Burkina Faso away from home. I say away from home again, it was in Marrakesh. Tapsoba with a late winner for Burkina Faso in that group. Ivory Coast 3, Comoros 1. Sebastian Haller on the score sheet. Good to see his return from cancer. The host looking very, very strong. Again, a bit of a pointless group because they've already qualified now. Nigerians look away now. Is it 4 losses in 6 under this manager? Nigeria 0, Guinea-Bissau 1. That's a disgrace. Was that in Abuja as well? That's shocking. Osimhen, Iheanacho, Iwobi, Chukwueze. How are you losing at home to Guinea-Bissau? 1-0 at home to Guinea-Bissau. If you're going to lose, at least score. That's embarrassing. Is it Jose Pizarro, the Portuguese guy? Nah, he's got to go. He's got to go. There's no excuse. They won 10-0 last time. You cannot lose at home to Guinea-Bissau. You've got the hottest forward in Europe who wants to be worth 100 million quid. You can't score against Guinea-Bissau. Shocking. Guinea-Bissau, as we talk, are now top of the group, above Nigeria. What a result for them. They're looking like, is it going to be 4 or 5 AFCONs in a row? Really, really good story. That's shocking, Nigeria. They've got to bounce back in a few days' time for me. South Africa will be fuming. Perfect start. Lowell Foster, the Burnley forward now, playing under Vincent Kompany. An early 2-0 lead for South Africa. Liberia, very, very late, put it back to 2-2. South Africa will be kicking themselves after that result in Johannesburg, because now they're going to have to probably win the return fixture. I'm really disappointed. I wanted to see South Africa qualify. That's really thrown a spanner in the works. Egypt beat Malawi 2-0 under Rui Vitória. They're looking good. They're looking strong. I've said for a while I think Egypt is still very, very strong. Vitória's a good manager. Ex-Benfica. Salah goal, Salah assist. I'm a huge admirer of Omar Marmoush. He's a fantastic forward playing, experienced playing in Germany. Guinea also won 2-0 against Ethiopia. All of a sudden, that group of all the teams on the same points looks a bit clearer now of Egypt and Guinea onto 6 points. And if they can win the next 2 fixtures, it's pretty much job done as far as they're concerned. Equatorial Guinea, Algeria's worst nightmare, beat Botswana by 2-0. Botswana had 10 men. A lot of the Equatorial Guinea players based in Spain, and elsewhere in that group, Tunisia beat Libya by 3-0. Yann Valery came on to play for Tunisia. I still find that a bit strange, but of course it was Msakni, the one who broke the deadlock in that North African derby. So Libya have it all to do in the return game. And Cameroon, drawing at home to Namibia. They're lucky they've got 3 teams in their group. They were losing as well, Cameroon. Just makes me more annoyed we didn't qualify. That's another poor result from a big nation. Mali very good at home to Gambia. Gambia, it won't matter too much because of what happened in the other result with Congo Brazzaville losing at home to South Sudan. Gambia, I'm sure, will be looking to bounce back because I loved them at the last AFCON when they made the quarterfinals. And of course, Senegal, the champions. Of course, they get the biggest win, 5-1 at home to Mozambique. 5 different scorers: Sabale, Mane, Ndiaye, Bouladia, and Habib Diallo as well. So Mozambique, despite getting thrashed, still looking pretty decent because of the way other results went in that group. So that is pretty much the roundup. The big stories are that South Sudan's got a win away from home, whereas Nigeria lost at home and Cameroon couldn't win at home to Namibia. And guess what? We're going to do it all over again for match day 4. So drop a like, thanks for watching, subscribe for more. I'll see you next time.